Hi, in this video, I'm going to be solving this problem that my students ask about. It's from my Math for Liberals class, and it's a homework problem from the book Bennett and Briggs, Using and Understanding Mathematics. The version that you see right here on the screen is the print textbook version. The version that you see in your homework is the online homework version, which may be slightly different, but the idea is the same. If you have not done this problem yet, do it first, okay? Don't just watch this one. You want to get practice doing this kind of problems. All right, the question goes like this. There's a figure that shows the number of refugees arriving in Europe from 3 countries of origin in 2016. And it shows that Syria, Afghanistan, and Venezuela. And there are 3 questions. Question A asks, what is the ratio? Ratio means one number divided by another, okay? So what is the ratio of refugees from Venezuela to refugees from Syria? And the second part of question A is, what is the ratio of the length of the corresponding bars in the graphs? This first part here asks for the actual number of refugees, the ratio of number of refugees. So the ratio of Venezuela divided by Syria, the actual number. Well, the actual number here for Venezuela is maybe about 45,000. Divided by the number for Syria. The number for Syria is here. It looks like a little bit below 75, but let's just call it 75. So that's the ratio. At this time, you can either reduce a fraction or you can just divide it out using a calculator. If you use a calculator and you divide it out, you get 0.6. So that would be the ratio. The ratio of Venezuela refugees to Syria refugees is 0.6. You can also do fraction simplification if you want. First, add all the 0. Then if we divide everything by 5, I get 9 out of 15. Then if I simplify by 5, I get 3 out of 5, which is 0.6. So either way is the correct answer. Online, I think they're expecting a decimal. Just write 0.6. That's the ratio of refugees. Now, the part that I think a lot of people are asking about is the second part, which is what is the ratio of the length of the corresponding bars. The length of this bar, the Venezuela bar, is this much. That's the length of the bar. So it's about that much. Whereas the length of the bar for Syria is that much. So what's the ratio? The ratio is this little piece to that big piece. How many little pieces are there in the big piece? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this ratio is actually 1 out of 7. So if you divide 1 divided by 7, you get approximately 0.14. The ratios are not the same. The actual ratio is 0.6. The graph ratio is 0.14. And that leads into part B. Part B says, based on your answer to part A, do you consider the graph to be deceptive? Explain. The answer they expect, and I say that because I'm going to say something at the end of this video that's kind of controversial. The answer to part B is yes, the graph can be considered deceptive because the ratio in the graph does not accurately represent the ratio in reality. That's part B. And then part C asks to redraw the bar graph with a starting point of 0 on the vertical axis. So here we go. I need to go all the way to 75,000. So I'm going to put 80,000 here, 60, 40, 20, and 0,000. Then for Syria, I have 75. So it goes all the way up here. That's Syria. Afghanistan is about 55 maybe. 50 is here, so 55 is almost there. And Venezuela is 45, so about here. This is considered a better graph, a more fair graph, because that makes this bar is about 60% of that bar in terms of height, which is more accurate. All right, hope that helps. Before I leave, let me just say this though. I want to talk about the idea that if you don't start your y-axis as 0, it's deceptive. That's a technical term. We use the word deceptive in a technical way, right? To mean that the ratios are not the same. We're not saying that people are lying or anything, because in real life, it's very common to have vertical axis not starting at 0. Almost all charts of stock prices start at a number that's not 0, because they want you to be able to see the movement here. If you draw this stock price starting at 0, then for this stock, for example, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, all the prices are around 45, 46,000. All the prices are going to be like tiny little motions up there. You don't see it. And if what's important to you is to see what goes up and what goes down, you need to be able to zoom in on this top part. And that's why for stock prices, the ratio is not as important as seeing the motion up and down. And that's why for stock prices, they almost never start at 0 on the y-axis. All right, hope that helps. Any questions or comments, put it in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe for more contents, and thanks for watching. Bye.